Hey friends, it's Evie with Happily Even After. So I'm coming to you today to tell you how I got my name, Happily Even After. I was a little girl and I wanted my life to turn out perfect, right? I wanted one husband, one wife, one marriage, happily ever after. Cuddles, hugs, romance, all the good things. And even as a little girl, when I laid in my bed, had a canopy bed, for those of you who are my age, I'm close to 54 right now. And I laid in my bed and I remember thinking, I want to get a daddy to stay. I want a marriage to work. Even at a young age, I had that desire. And so I spent much of my life after that trying to figure out how can I make a marriage work. And so I did what I knew to do or what I found out to do. I bought books. I did the things that the book said. And I thought, I am going to make this work. I'm going to conquer this marriage thing. And I'm going to make my marriage the best ever. And so that's what I set about to do. And I was married 7 years, thought I had the very best marriage, came home from school. I left for school one morning and, I was a teacher. My ex-husband was an educator. And we said, I love you more, I love you most, I love you more, I love you more, mostest, that whole thing, that whole big dialogue, on and on we went. And off to school we went. And at lunchtime, I needed to come home for a sinus pill. Actually, probably a fourth of a sinus pill. But anyway, I was a teacher. We didn't really have lunch, but I really needed this to clear my throat to be able to teach for the rest of the day. So I came home, and when I'm pulling up, now it's the most beautiful day. It's in April, and it was a beautiful day. And when I pull up, I see my husband's truck. And I'm so excited because I'm going to get to see him in the middle of the day. Kind of wondered why he was home, but didn't matter. Pulled into my driveway, into my garage, and lo and behold, there's another car there. Not my car. Of course, I'm in my car. So I pull up, almost touching the bumper of the car there, because I had a garage door. So it was coming up and I was pulling in. And so anyway, I'm thinking, what on earth is happening here, y'all? When I mean to tell you that when I left that morning at 7:30, I thought I had the perfect marriage. I thought I had the perfect life. I thought everything was great. And I thought my husband was spot on with character, morals, values. Never imagined that this was what was happening. And so anyway, I get there and I walk in and I'm thinking, what's happening? Like, I don't even know. It's not even, nothing's registering. So I get inside, and the good news is they were not in the bed. They were in the living room. And so my husband's like, what are you doing here? And I'm thinking, well, I mean, I live here. Like, kind of, what are you doing here? And so he said, oh, she came to get some papers. Well, I don't know who she is and why she is in my house and her car is in my garage and the garage door is down. Things weren't adding up. So anyway, I had a grand total of 20 minutes to get from my school home, which is a 5 to 7 minute drive, get my little tablet and get back to school and teach students for the rest of the day. So she left when I moved my car. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, I didn't know. Now it's so dumb now, but I didn't know. I thought I really had a really great guy. So anyway, she left and I was saying, what's happening? And he's like, nothing. She came here to get some papers. So I had to go back and teach my precious children. So I went back to school and I'm thinking, what's happening? I don't even know. And anyway, there was a track meet that day. So not only did I have to go teach school, then I had a track meet I had to sit through because my ex-husband was a coach. And I'm going, who is this person? Why is she in my house? What's she doing here? What's going on? I mean, clueless. So anyway, he gets done. I ask him, long story short, we meet with her and he tells her it's over. And I'm thinking, my whole world just fell apart. My whole world just fell apart. Everything I thought I knew at 7:30 this morning is not what wasn't truth at 7:30 that night. And all I could think past that was, I want my marriage to work. Remember, that little 8-year-old girl wanted one husband, one wife, happily ever after. And here we are. My whole world changed. And so we stayed together. It was several weeks that we had to wait to go see a counselor. We went to one that wasn't local, and all those weeks I kept saying, did you have sex with her? And he said no. And I would ask him, did you kind of have sex with her? Did you sort of have sex with her? Did you have, over and over and over I would ask. And he would say no. What can I do? So we went to see the counselor 4 to 6 weeks later. And the counselor was a no-nonsense kind of guy, kind of looked at him and said, you're a liar. And so they had me leave the room, and my husband had been lying. But the counselor said, because we took some tests before we went, he said, y'all have a really good marriage. Y'all really are happy. And I thought, well, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. And so he said, no, y'all can work this out and it'll be good. Well, that's what I wanted to hear. And so that's what I thought we were going to do. So we left there, and I don't think he probably did anything that the counselor suggested, but he didn't leave me, and we ended up getting pregnant. And so we weren't planning on it, but the counselor did say, y'all need to have children. Y'all have a really good marriage, and children would really, really be good for y'all. And so we had our first son, and then he was so many months old, and I got pregnant again. Long story short, I had a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn baby within 3 years. So we had the perfect set of 3 sons. They were amazing, wonderful, great. Life really was good. My third son was born with a blood disorder, a very, very rare blood disorder. One in 421 cases were, at the time, how many were in the United States. So he did not make red blood cells. He had to go get transfusions every 3 to 4 weeks. And so we lived that way for a while. Well, time went by, raising these boys. I'm having a blast. Life is good. And about that time, texting came. Well, I didn't have texting because I was a holdout. Like, no, I'm going to talk on the phone. Now it seems so silly because texting is so common. And anyway, so one night he was in the shower and his phone was beeping, and it kept saying message received, message received. Well, I looked at it. There weren't any messages on there, voice message. And so anyway, long story short, he was having another affair. Yep. I think we had been married 17 years by this time. We have 3 sons. They're 5, 6, and 7 at this time. And they're precious. They're perfect. They're wonderful. Life's good. We eat lunch together every single day. From the time my kids were old enough to sit at the table, we had lunch together. We homeschooled. So I quit teaching when I had my children, and then we began to homeschool when they got school age, and we ate lunch together every day. He came home from school, and we had a blast. We laughed, we played games, literally sat for an hour every day and ate lunch. So we had a good time. Yep. Okay, so he was having an affair. He was a horse trainer. This person was a horse person. And we go to a horse show once we found out he's having an affair. So me and my sons go to the next horse show, and there's a woman there. And I knew her. He was training her horse. And she was there. And I said, I know about Diane. And this other woman, she said, I just want him to be happy. And I said, well, we are happy. We are happy. We laugh every day. We have a great time. And I knew she wasn't on my side. And so we go along life. He stays with me. There were cell phones found and crazy stuff. So time went on. My third son had a bone marrow transplant, which takes a year out of your life, a person's life. And so he had a bone marrow transplant, and we pressed on. That was in 2007. And in 2012, things were rolling along, and I come home from taking my children to the movies. And my husband had left me a note. And he said he needed time to think. He didn't say, he kind of said he was leaving me, but he kind of put it off like he just needed time to think, and I deserve someone better. Wasn't that nice? Well, would y'all believe that he was having an affair with Linda, who happened to be the best friend of the second girlfriend? That's who he left me for. So he moved out, basically moved in with Linda. And here I am at home, raising our three sons that are now 11, 12, and 13. And I just knew that we were going to get back together because of these children. We had the best children on the planet. So I waited. I hoped, I prayed, I wished. And my husband, he was my husband. He did live somewhere else. He came home every day for lunch, like he had always done. And we ate lunch every day. And we laughed. We had a good time. I welcomed him in. My friends would say, how can you feed him? Why do you let him in? And I remember thinking, I have the privilege to let him in because I knew I had done my part in the deterioration of our marriage. Of course, I had these two affairs that I was always kind of like whack-a-mole, trying to make sure everything was okay and there's no cell phone here, and crazy living. But we had a peaceful home. We had fun. We laughed. And I just knew that I had contributed. And so I felt like I had the opportunity to be different. And so he would come in, I would feed, I would cook, and we would eat, and he would leave. And then he would come sometimes at night to see the boys. And he had himself on a visitation schedule. We didn't discuss it. I was just so happy he came. And now that I look back, it was like crazy. I let him be in control. And I raised my kids. I didn't want to turn their life upside down. I didn't want to co-parent per se. I wanted them to live in their home. So anyway, 4 years rolled by. He kept coming, kept going. And I realized nothing's changing, like nothing's changing. I'm here, I'm being loving and kind, and he's leaving every night, sleeping over there every night. Things aren't really working out for me in this marriage thing that I wanted to work so desperately. And anyway, finally, after several different pastors and counselors said, you know, divorce him, leave him, I finally did. After 26 years, we finally divorced. And friends, right after that, my third son got cancer. And went through treatment and got better, and then it came back. And in 2018, my 17-year-old son passed away from cancer. When he passed away, my sons were 17, 18, and 19. And I became an empty nester all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it was me. Married, 3 kids, homeschool, down to me. But here's the thing. I learned so much when I was waiting for my husband to come home. I changed. I became a better person because I realized what was important, what was not important. And I had griped when he would be late. He was always late. And then when he left, I realized, oh my gosh, doesn't matter if he's late. It just matters if he comes home. And so y'all, I don't recommend these things to you to stay. I'm definitely not saying if your husband or your spouse is having an affair to stay. I think that's the answer. I don't think that's the answer at all. It was for me at the time, was what I needed to get me from where I was to where I wanted to be, where I needed to be. But I don't recommend it. I was coming from a place more of desperation because of how I had grown up. And there were so many factors involved. Now, as it turns out, now I see as I study narcissism, my mom was a narcissist, is a narcissist, still so obvious. I don't know how I missed it. My ex-husband is a narcissist, and I only recently found this out. Like, it just becomes clearer and clearer. And but it changed me, made me who I needed to be, and now I help other people. So I learned so many things going through it. I learned a lot. I cried a lot. It hurt a lot. But I learned priceless gifts, and now I can help you. Whatever you're going through, I can help you, I promise. I have 2 coaching certifications, life and mindset coaching. I have a master's degree in counseling, and my bachelor's is in psychology. I can help you. And plus, most of my learning came from the School of Hard Knocks. I have my PhD in on-the-job training from the School of Hard Knocks. So I can help you, friend. I learned a lot, and I'm ready to pass it on. When I laid on the floor, all I wanted to know was, is this ever going to be okay? And I didn't know, and nobody was there to tell me, and I didn't know who to ask. I knew no one. No one was talking about it. I didn't have Facebook. It's a whole different world now. But I remember thinking, if I get out, if I make it out of this, I want to help everybody I can. So if you're going through infidelity right now, you just found out, let's connect. If you found out a year ago, a month ago, 10 years ago, let's connect. If you've just gone through a divorce, let's connect. If you've lost a child, let's connect. If you're 40 or 50 and starting over, let's connect. If you're stuck in a dead-end job, let's connect. Whatever life situation you're going through, I promise you that what I've learned will help you. I promise. Click the link down below in my bio and connect with me. Leave a comment down below. That's fine too. I want to help you. I want to encourage you. I want to teach you the tips, tricks, and tools that I learned. And it took me a long time to learn them. And I paid a lot of money to learn what I learned. And I've spent a lot of years learning it. So I want to help you. So click the link in my bio, connect with me. There's so many ways that we can work together. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Click the like button and watch some of my other videos and see what else has happened in my life and what other ways that I can help you. Thanks, friend. Bye.